Hi, my name's Alex Linville, and this is English Time with AIOS. With this lesson, we're going to look at a very important issue, creating a resume. Now, resume is a French word, but we also call it a CV, and all it is a description of your life, your activities, your education, your work experience. Now, there's a very large difference between a Thai resume and a resume in the United States or other Western countries. In Thailand, you often talk about your weight, whether you're a man or a woman, your gender, your religion, how tall you are, your height, and you also tell about your age. Now, in Thailand, this is acceptable, but in the United States, this is not okay. You should never include this kind of information. In fact, if you include it, the person interviewing you might get upset, because in the United States, if someone knows your age or your religion or your weight, it might influence their decision, which is against the law. To not hire somebody because of weight or gender or religion is a very serious crime. So interviewers don't even want to know. What they do want to know is about your education, your work experience, and other ideas we'll talk about soon. Let's look at some more differences between a Thai resume and an American resume. It should only be one page. Now you might say, oh, I've seen Americans with a resume that's more than one page. This is true, but they're usually very old and have had many jobs and a lot of life experience. If you're a student or a younger person who has only had a few jobs, you should only have one page. To have a second page is a very big honor. It means you have done a lot with your life and you deserve a second page. You've done great things. As a student, you probably have not done that much yet. So only one page, and definitely not 3 or 4. Sometimes I see multi-page resumes in Thailand. So because you only have one page, your information must be very important. Only the information for the job you want should be included. So if you have a lot of experience at your university, maybe through your activities, your hobbies, that connects to the job you want, you should include that. So I'll give you an example. If you were president of the computer club at your university and you're applying for a job to be a computer programmer, you should include that position as president of the computer club. But if you want a job as a kindergarten teacher, that's not really very interesting information. There's probably better activities you did at college, at university, that connect more with being a kindergarten teacher. Also, only the most important facts about you should be included. Maybe you care a lot that you took a vacation to Japan. Maybe you're really proud of that. You saved money, you bought your own ticket, you traveled by yourself. Even though this is very interesting, it should not go on a resume. Only things related to education, jobs, and here at the bottom we'll talk about language and computer skills. Things like this should be on your resume. The last point, your resume should be verb plus detail. Now what does that mean? It means you shouldn't have a subject. So sometimes I see resumes where people say, I went to Chulalongkorn University and studied accounting. Even though this is true information and belongs in a resume, the form is not correct. It should say, studied accounting All right, verb plus detail. All right, studied mechanical engineering with a focus on airplanes. Something like this. It needs to be your verb plus the important facts. All right, so let's look at a sample resume. Again, one page only. Now, you might be tricky and make your font extra small or make your margins extra large or small. You want to make sure that you don't get too tricky. All right, just a basic page, and you can look online for what is considered to be acceptable font size and acceptable margins for a resume. You should have your name, your address, your email, and your telephone number, preferably your cell phone number or the easiest way for that business to call you. Then, because you're a student, you should begin with your education. Now, if you're watching this video and you have worked for 10 years and have had many jobs, you should then switch these and begin with your work experience. But most of you at the AIOS site are students, so you should begin with education. All right? You put your university that is most recent, all right, that is the shortest amount of time in the past. You put it first. Maybe you only have one university. Maybe you already have a master's, so you have one university for your master's and one for your bachelor's. Maybe you went to two different universities for your bachelor's. Maybe you did a year study abroad program in another country at another university. This is all interesting information. And remember, it should be organized by the years, by time. So you put the university, your major, what you're studying. You can put your GPA if you want. This is a good place to put it. Then you put the years you went to the school. And if you're still there, you just write present. So you could write 2010 to present, P-R-E-S-E-N-T. It means you're still going to the school, okay? And then you put the location, whether it's Bangkok or Chiang Mai. Maybe you go to school in another country. Make sure to put the city. And then you put the facts, the interesting information that relates to the job. Again, if you are president of the computer club at your school and you're applying to be a computer programmer, that should be one of your facts. If you wrote a paper, a thesis, a large essay about new practices in business, maybe a new idea you have as an entrepreneur and you want to get a job as a business person, you should include about your thesis, about your new ideas in entrepreneurship. All right, make sure it relates to your job and that it's very important about you. The next is work experience. Maybe some of you have never had a job. Try to put maybe an internship or some work experience, something you've done, but not volunteer work. Volunteer belongs at the bottom. Volunteer means you didn't get paid for it. So again, put your position, what you did, maybe a secretary, or you worked in marketing. You then put the company, the years and the location, and then facts about it. Remember, start with the verb. So tell what you did. Don't use a subject. Say, organized financial records. You can say, conducted tours of our factories. Just basic phrases that tell what you did. Of course, the more detail, the better. After work experience, you then have selected training if you want. With Thai resumes, I often see huge sections for training. Thai students will put every training they ever did, even if it's only one day. You need to select the training that most connects to the job you want. This should be a small part of your resume. And again, you don't even need it. Most American resumes don't have any information about training. So this is really up to you and only include the most important. Finally, you have additional information. Only the important facts about you that don't fit into these categories. So languages that you speak, important volunteer work you do, really amazing accomplishments. Maybe you wrote a book that was published. Maybe you were given an award by the Prime Minister of Thailand. Important information should go here under additional information. And finally, computer skills, but don't put basic computer skills. Employers know that nowadays everyone can use PowerPoint and Excel and Word and Apple programs. Only very specific high-level computer. Maybe you know how to design websites. Maybe you know how to use Adobe Photoshop and other fancy programs to do really interesting work. But if you're, again, applying to be a kindergarten teacher or a job that has nothing to do with computers, you don't even need to put that. Maybe you should save the room for something else. Again, think of a resume, because it's only one page, as every space on the page is very valuable. You should not have a lot of empty space. Sometimes I see resumes with big holes, big white areas with no information. You get one page to tell about your life. Make sure that you include the best information. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about resumes. This has been English Time with AIOS. Again, my name is Alex Linville. ขอบคุณครับ